So this is, again, continued Thursday, 8/16. This is the homework. You can do it in class or you can do it at home, but it's best if you just get it done. That way you don't have to do any homework tonight. Do your notes and homework. You should be able to do it all in one day. So second video. Solve for the given variable in each equation. So notice we have a left side and a right side. No terms can be added here. No terms can be added here. So we're going to start going back and forth from one side to the other. First thing you should always do is get x's on one side. First step. So let's go ahead and let's subtract 12x. Usually you subtract the smaller one, but I personally like my x's on the left-hand side, which means I just got rid of the x's on the right-hand side. Carry down not only the 18, but also carry down the sign in front of 18. So this was a subtraction, but when this disappears, that subtraction becomes a negative. On this side, what's 10 minus 12? Negative 2. Carry down the plus 6. So now we're solving for x. It's on the left-hand side. Inverse operation says, how do you get rid of addition of 6? We're going to subtract 6 from both sides. Whatever you do to one side, you do to the other. Total line. Carry down your negative 2x. Cancel your 6's equals what's negative 18 minus 6? Negative 24. Last step, divide by negative 2. Both sides. So x equals 2 negatives make a positive, and your answer is positive 12. Yay. First one's done. Second one, draw a line down. This time we have some distributing to do on both sides. On the left-hand side, we're going to distribute 8. On the right-hand side, we're going to distribute 7, but there's still a plus x at the end of this one. So after you distribute 7, you're still going to add some like terms. So there's two things we have to do on this side. One thing we have to do on this left side. Are you ready? What's 8 times x? 8x. What's 8 times 3? 24. What's 7 times x? 7x. What's 7 times 5? 35 plus x. Do you see how there's 3 terms over here? Doesn't that look weird? That's because you can add these 2 terms. What's 7 xylophones plus another xylophone? Are you saying 8 xylophones? Because that's what it is. 8 plus 35. Then you still have 8x plus 24 on the side. Do you guys notice anything weird about this problem? Do you notice that the 8x is the same thing on both sides? That means you're going to have a weird answer. So when you subtract this 8x from this side and from this side, what happens? All the variables are gone. So what's left is this 24 on this side and a 35 on this side. Since they're not the same, your answer is no solution. This problem looks kind of long. It's not too bad. Don't get too scared. We're going to distribute for negative 12x plus 40 equals negative 10x plus 40 minus 2x. So on the right-hand side, we have 3 terms. See that? Combine these 2 terms. So you get negative 12x plus 40. Negative 12x plus 40. Uh-oh, what do you notice now? Exactly the same thing on both sides. I can stop right here when you notice that and write infinitely many solutions because it's the exact same thing on both sides. No matter what I plug in the x here and here, it's always going to be the same thing. If you wanted to take it one step further, you could add 12x to both sides. See how you get 40 equals 40? See how there's no variables left? You could even subtract 40 from both sides and get 0 equals 0. No matter what you do, they're always going to be the same. So you can actually stop at this step right here once you notice that they're the same. Fractions. What do we do with fractions? Remember, circle the 3 denominators. What is a common multiple, the LCM, of 4, 3, and 6? What's the number they all go into? Are you guys saying 24? They all go into 24, don't they? Is there a smaller one? How about 12? Do they all go into 12? I think the LCM is 12. So what we're going to do is we're going to multiply each of these terms by 12. like that. So 12 is really over 1, so that's why I have it written up in the top. So what's 3/4 of 12? You can punch that in your calculator or cancel the 4 in the denominator with the 12. How many times does 4 go into 12? 3 times. What's 3 times the remaining numerator? 3 times 3 is 9, and don't forget the x. Minus, carry down that minus. How many times does 3 go into 12? 4 times. What's 4 times 2? How many times does 6 go into 12? Twice. What's 5 times 2? 10. See how we got rid of the fractions? Add 8 to both sides. Get 9x equals 18. Divide by 9. And x equals 2. Number 5. What am I distributing here? Am I distributing 8x or am I distributing the negative sign? Hopefully you said the negative sign. So copy down the 8x. What's the opposite of 6x? Negative 6x. What's the opposite of negative 4? Positive 4. So whenever there's a negative on the outside, it changes the 6 to a negative, and it changes the negative 4 to a positive 4. How many terms are on that left-hand side? I'm going to say if there's too many, there's 3 of them, that's too many. Add this one and this one. What's 8x minus 6x? It's 2x plus 4 equals 10. Go ahead and finish. Subtract 4 from both sides. Divide by 2, and x is 3. Number 6, distribute 3 and the 6. So 3 times 2 is 6y. 3 times 4 is 12. 6 times y is 6y. 6 times 7 is 42. What do you notice? Notice that the y's are the same. So subtract 6y, subtract 6y. Remember, there's a left side and right side. Cancel, cancel. You're left with 12 equals 42. Is that a no solution or is that an infinitely many solution? The variables have canceled. Hopefully you say no solution because they're not equal. Variables canceled, they're not equal, no solution. Now number 7 and number 8 are a review of what we did first day with the slope applet. Find the slope of the line passing through the 2 given points using the slope formula. So the slope formula is m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. There's your formula. It's the change in y's over the change in x's. So personally, I like to write my ordered pairs on top of one another like this. And I like to circle the y's because that's the ones you're starting with. The y's is what you start on the top. So we're going to go m equals 3 minus minus 4 over negative 3 minus 5. For an answer of, these two negatives make a positive. 3 plus 4 is 7. Negative 3 minus 5 is negative 8, and that's your slope. Next one, let's write these on top of one another. 0, 4, negative 6, 0. So the y's are here, so it's 0 minus 4 over negative 6 minus 0, which is 0 minus 4 is negative 4. Negative 6 minus 0 is negative 6. Now what is negative 4 divided by negative 6? What happens when you have 2 negatives and you're dividing? Did you guys say it's positive? If you did, you're right. It's a positive fraction. What number goes into 4 and 6? 2. 2 goes into 4 twice. 2 goes into 6 3 times. That's your answer. That's your slope. So if I write these underneath each other, these two right here, you get negative 5 minus negative 1 over 7 minus 7. 2 negatives make a positive. Negative 5 plus 1 is negative 4. What's 7 minus 7? It's 0. So this one is undefined because you are not allowed to divide by 0. Number 8, Maria, Jose, Michael, and Jeffrey are working together. The need to find the slope of the line passing through these 2 points of the 4 methods shown by who is correct. So let's write these on top of one another. So I would take 9 minus 3, right? Wouldn't you guys take 9 minus 3 on top? So this one has a 9 minus 3. This one has a 3 minus 9, 3 minus 9, 9 minus 3. So technically, any one of those could be right. You could go 9 minus 3 or 3 minus 9. The second one, you would go 5. If you did 9 minus 3, you would go 5 minus 7. So if you did 9 minus 3, you would do 5 minus 7. So that one is 9 minus 3, 5 minus 7. So I would say Jose is correct. Let's see if the rest of them are correct. Is Michael right? He did the first one minus the second one, which is okay as long as you do the first one minus the second one here. Did he do that? Did Michael do that? He did 3 minus 9. He did y1 minus y2. And then he did x1 minus x2. That's correct. First one minus the second one. First one minus the second one. So he's also correct. Michael is also correct. Looks like 2 of them are correct. The third one, he did 3 minus 9, but then he did 5 minus 7. So you see how he went first minus second here? But then he did second x minus, so this one is wrong. Do you guys see the difference? He did 3 minus 9, but then he did 5 minus 7. If you do 3 minus 9, then you have to do 7 minus 5. That's what Michael did. Michael was correct. Jeffrey was wrong. Maria, she took 9 minus 3, so she took from the bottom up. So that means you have to do bottom up from the x's too. So 9 minus 3 on top, and then it should be 5 minus 7, but she had 7 minus 5, so this one's wrong. So 2 people are correct, Jose and Michael. Done. That's it.